Welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to be reviewing Mayans MC episode 6. So once again, we have a pretty good episode from the Mayans, and once again we have the symbol of an animal, this episode being the cat. So what is the meaning of the cat? Well, as far as common things for cats, 9 lives is known. They're curious and they're lucky. But then at the same time, they can be unlucky. However, that is a black cat, but is still kind of in the same cat category. And there's a whole lot of cats involved with dark magic because they're a nocturnal creature, and then they're also praised as gods in the Egyptian culture, and then there's actually quite a few symbolism of cats representing rebirth. Now, I'd say those 4 points: rebirth, curiosity, 9 lives, and being lucky. I'd say that for Ezekiel, the whole lucky thing was definitely coming into play for this episode. He was getting into some deep shit with Coco's daughter, and but he would manage to get out. Maybe that's a little kind of nod. 9 lives, lucky. Not that big of a deal though. But then also the rebirth thing. There's a couple different things for this. The rebirth of Coco and his daughter's relationship was there. So it looks like we're going to have more going on with his daughter. Now, however, I believe those little things are just little things, and it's kind of a stretch. The main thing for this, I'd say the cat is a huge symbolism to Lincoln Potter showing up at the end of this episode. Lincoln Potter being the district attorney assistant back in Sons of Anarchy, I believe season 4 he was introduced. He was going after the cartel, and thus then going after the Sons of Anarchy because of their involvement with the cartel. Now, it makes sense for him to pop up because just the whole cartel thing. He's obviously still pursuing the cartel. Funny enough, I'd say his mannerism is cat-like, honestly. But then there's the question of rebirth. He's reborn back into this world. He is going after the cartel, and thus he's curious about the Mayans. And that really plays into the curiosity. He's kind of sitting there on the road, just kind of like a cat. He's just curious. He's looking over. Cat comes right up to him. That's one thing that I think the symbolism between him and the cat is very strong. And obviously he is going to cause some mischief and interfere in the Mayans' lives, as he did back in Sons of Anarchy for the Sons. And the cartel was his target from his introduction to the Sons of Anarchy, and this is definitely closer to the cartel than he was with the Sons. Therefore, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the end for Lincoln Potter in this show, because curiosity killed the cat. He's going to get a little too curious and get in there and maybe make some bad decisions. But then another cat trait, just like him, cats are kind of out for themselves. They're kind of loners, and they're not really about the pack. They're careful, and they have 9 lives. Maybe he's going to get some close calls and then just keep on pulling through, just like a cat. But hey, those are just some speculations on what this cat could mean. I definitely do think that this cat is a strong correlation with Lincoln Potter. I almost guarantee there was some stuff that I missed in this episode with the cat. If there's something you caught on to of what it could mean that I didn't talk about, let me know. I'm very curious. This one was a little more difficult trying to figure out what exactly this cat meant, just because of how often the cat showed up as well. But my thoughts for the rest of the episode, I really enjoyed it. You get to see Easy be a little bit more badass in this episode, and help out Coco's daughter. We got to know her a little bit more. Got to know Coco a little bit more, and his inner feelings of how everything went down with his daughter. I liked it. I was a big fan of it, and I'm along for this ride to have Coco's daughter kind of be like a recurring character. Now, what I'm afraid of. Ooh, am I afraid? Freaking Bishop with thinking that Coco's daughter could be Adelita, the rebel, and thinking that Coco's the mole. I'm so afraid. This is a spoiler for Sons of Anarchy, if you guys care. Sons of Anarchy Season 2, when they went to go kill Opie, and then mistakenly killed Opie's wife. I'm afraid that this is going to end up like that, Whether it be let's go kill Coco and then accidentally kill his daughter in the process, or let's go kill his daughter because we think that this is somebody else. So I'm really nervous about that, and I really don't want it to happen because it's all just a misunderstanding. And, lots of times certain bad things happen and I'm like, oh God, I hated that. But I can see the writing, and that's some really good writing. Whereas in this case, I don't know if I would necessarily feel like, oh, that's really good writing. Even though I'm not going to say it's bad writing, it would frustrate me so much if she dies based off a misunderstanding. But at the same time, I'm not going to say that that's bad or good. That would frustrate me. It was just kind of, So I really hope that doesn't happen, though I'm afraid that is the path that we are going down. So I hope that somebody explains that it is Coco's daughter and nothing bad happens. I'm sure something bad's gonna happen. Whether it be what I said or something else, I don't think good can come out of this at all. But then one of the bigger points of this episode, at least for me, the rebels. Now, kind of, halfway through this episode, I just kind of started to think, I was like, do I really like the rebels? Like, how much do I like them? I like the kind of conflict that they have going on with the cartel and whatnot. So, but as far as the rebels and how they operate, I'm not sure if I'm the biggest fan. I mean, they're what they are. I'm not necessarily a hater of them. But when they figured out that Kid was a snitch and then they ended up killing him, that just made me... I understand why they killed the kid, because you couldn't just let him go, kick him out or whatever, because then he's going to go to the cartel and tell him everything. However, because of that action, I would say that they are no better than the cartel. Maybe because they have their reasoning for their doing makes them slightly better, but their tactics are the same, and it just kind of breaks your heart. Because now not only are they child murderers like the cartel, they had a child murder another child, and that is unsettling with me, and it does not make me root for them at all, honestly. And I know that the cartel are child murderers as well. However, I see more humanity with the cartel, with Miguel and Emily and their son, and then them getting their son back. And I was honestly, at this point, I was rooting for Miguel and Emily, and then the rebels laced the blanket with drugs, and so it didn't really end super well for them. I know that they're gonna get their son back at this point. Who knows how that's gonna go down, but I'm sure that they'll get their son back. But my main point is, I was rooting for the cartel at this point. I don't know if I'm supposed to be rooting for the cartel, because the cartel's not good people and they're not doing good things. But because they have this interaction with their family and their son, it gives them more humanity and it gives me more appeal towards them. And then the rebels are even more heartless every episode. And then they just killed the kid. And I know the reasoning, but that just is unsettling to me and makes me kind of favor the cartel, unfortunately. And I don't know if that is the idea, that they want you to not necessarily be a fan of the rebels, or they're just kind of showing how the lines blur when you have to deal with someone so bad, you gotta be bad too. I don't know if it's one of those kind of ideas or not, but at this point, I'm Team Cartel, unfortunately. That's a bad thing, but I'm not really feeling the rebels. Adelita is a okay character. I don't really have a problem with her. But then her right-hand man, I don't even remember his name. I don't even know if it's been said, honestly. I'm sure it has, but I know nothing about him. He's just kind of this bland character. And then Adelita is just, she's a little mysterious, so at least there's that going for her. You can tell that there is character there. But with him, nothing. And then as far as the kids go, it's literally just that one girl who ended up pushing the other kid. So I'm going to need to see some deeper character development for the rebels pretty soon, or else I'm not going to be rooting for them, and I'm going to hope that they fail. Unfortunately, that's the way I'm naturally feeling. I'm not necessarily wanting to feel this way, but it is the way I'm kind of being forced into feeling. So I don't know if the rebels are gonna be actual good guys in the end. I don't know how their interaction is gonna go with the Mayans eventually. But it does seem that Angel and Adelita are getting closer, so she told him her real name. So it seems like the bond between them and the Mayans are going better. So it seems like they're gonna become better, good protagonist people, but I don't know. And then there's scenes for the next episode with her showing up to Angel and Ezekiel's dad's place and pointing a gun at him. Who knows where that's going? One thing that I did see was pointed out, which is very interesting, was Easy's dad when he was talking to his cousin and whatnot about his past, and he was telling about his partner. He said his partner's last name, I might be pronouncing it wrong, it was like Espina or whatever. It was the same last name of Adelita when she gave her real name. And, like, that could just be a little, like, thing, but they never have the same names. I'm not sure where they're going with that. So, could she be the daughter of his partner, and maybe that's why she's coming to him in the next episode, because maybe they know each other? That would be pretty wild. But I feel like there's got to be a connection there, whether it's a daughter or something else. I don't know. That was a really small thing that some people picked up on, and it's very interesting. I hope that's pursued. That would be pretty cool. That might give me more of a reason to like Adelita at this point, but we'll see how it goes. But I did really like this episode. I'm not sure if I liked it more than the last, but I did really like it. It kind of seems like every episode I'm ranging around an 8 out of 10. And I gotta say, it's about that again. Maybe it's a 7.8 or something. But then again, my ratings don't really matter that much. Because I'm going to keep watching. And I'm very curious where everything's going to go with Potter and whatnot. And my last little thing to talk about, though, would be the flashback showing what happened to Easy's past and his mom. And how it appears that their shop got robbed and his mom got killed in the process. So he followed the car and ended up it kind of ended there with him like crashing into their car and whatnot. But then with other little things, he apparently chases them, starts shooting at them, trying to kill them, and then all of a sudden a cop showed up, and then he shot the cop by accident. And so that's just, that is a shitty situation for Easy all around. And considering that before, when we saw the little flashback of when he shot the cop, we didn't know why he was chasing somebody with a gun. So it was like, is he into bad stuff? You didn't really know if this was a good deed, if this was a bad deed on Easy's part. But from what we've seen, this would be maybe not necessarily a good deed, but good heart and a broken heart, and his reasoning for doing that. So it just kind of, it strengthens Easy's character as a good person. And I really like that, because there's so many times in these types of shows where you're liking these characters, but these characters ultimately aren't really good people. And so I enjoy that. The fact that we got that for Easy. We know for a fact that Easy is genuinely a good person. I mean, we already knew that, but this just kind of adds to his character, and I really like it. Will he ever really compare to Jax? Who knows? Let's probably steer away from that. One thing we do know is he's more jacked than Jax, so maybe he could win in a fight. Who knows? Maybe one day after Mayans has ended, I'm sure that'll be years from now, because since it's already renewed for season 2, it'll just keep on going for, I could see, as long as Sons of Anarchy. Then at that point, that is when we can officially compare Ezekiel and Jax. But it's the first season, it's the first couple episodes, it's episode 6, we really can't compare the two, so just don't bother about that. But hey, that was my review, and I hope you guys liked it. If you did, hit like, comment, let me know about your thoughts, if there's something I missed, as always, and let me know if you thought my thoughts were cool, stupid, dumb, full of shit. Let me know. subscribe for more. I'll keep doing this with all the episodes. For you big horror fans out there, make sure to subscribe because we have the October Horror Show going on right now. We just posted a Scream discussion video about all the Scream movies. And we'll be doing that with a couple other franchises, so make sure you stay tuned. And we also made a Scream short and a couple other shorts that'll be coming out real soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.